Oh, that sure was quite a crash.
Yeah, almost feels like we've been out for 2 weeks or less.
Yeah, hopefully less. I'm hoping that I can double the update schedule once we have all the videos recorded.
And this was absolutely not the first time that we made this joke.
It's Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, technical difficulties can crop up at the weirdest times.
We are bookending our journey. We started in Dark Beauty Castle, and now for most of the end game, we will be in the larger outskirts of the Dark Beauty Castle. Though there was supposed to be one other level, and originally the Moonliner rocket was going to crash in the courtyard just outside the Mad Doctor's lab, and there would be a set piece of sorts where you'd have to, navigate the collapsing ruins.
Well, like time and budget, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, another example of the dynamic music here. The flute becomes much more prominent because we have two tints with us. This part can be a bit frustrating. It actually is possible if you line things up perfectly to do this section, cleaning up the pipes, without using any watch sketches.
And we have to do this all in one go.
Yes. The thinner rises up when that counter reaches 0. And not only is it's actually not an instant fail state, but I kind of prefer if it was, because it's very easy to get trapped.
So wait, does Mickey drown in thinner if you fail?
Not immediately, and I kind of wish it was immediate, because it can be very frustrating if you mess it up.
I see. So you basically just do the hopping around with a hot bottom thing until you die.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's annoying.
So, in this part, I am demonstrating how difficult it can be to use Guardians against Slobbers. Since it is quite easy for the Guardians to accidentally target the other enemies it's around. You basically have to be like right next to the Slobber to guarantee that it hits.
Yeah, I saw that. Like, it does feel like Waggle has never really been the most accurate of control methods.
Yeah.
Especially prior to the creation of the Wii Motion Plus, when motion controls for the Wii Remote and the Nunchuck were just based on accelerometers and the laser pointer, or not laser pointer, but whatever IR sensor that the sensor bar would pick up. And hey, remember this?
Yeah, I mean, I remember us talking about like the weird looking eyeballs.
Yeah, that was from the Mad Doctor's Swiss Army knife that he tried to attack us with, all the way back in the first video.
This really does come full circle. It's kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in addition to appreciating the poetry of this circular narrative, we do need to think of another plan, because we can't use the rocket anymore.
Yeah, maybe some sort of, I don't know, convoluted solution will just present itself at the last minute.
This is also an extremely weird 2D level. I don't know why. This is the only one based on the official Disney animated canon, and it's Sleeping Beauty of all films. I'm Maleficent.
Well, I imagine it was a license that Disney was a lot less iffy about letting them use because, well, Sleeping Beauty, I understand, was, of the classic canon, one of their least successful films.
Actually, I'm just realizing now that there is a half example of another 2D level using the animated cannon. More interesting in my mind, though, is that because we're now officially in the end game, we no longer have access to any shops. So there are no e-tickets to pick up, and all of the prefab breakable items, they do not drop e-tickets because there's no point anymore.
Yeah. So there's not going to be any kind of like emergency shop at the end where you can like pick up whatever like you need before heading off to the final battle. Nothing like that.
Yeah, you're expected to do that before you go to the retread to Tomorrow City.
So you have to go back to the park in order to spend your Mickey Mouse junk bucks, and they're non-refundable. Gotcha.
Yes.
Let me guess. Restoring all the happy pictures is the paint route.
Actually, well, restoring the pictures at all is the paint route. The thinner route is you saw that gigantic chandelier earlier, and there are some there is some machinery that is holding the chandelier in place, and so if we thin that out, then it will crash through Oswald's throne that you can see at the end there, and there are two different projector levels. I had talked before that, in addition to that one part from the world of Gremlins, where we could go to one of two levels based on clock cleaners, this is the only other example of this happening in the game.
Kinda neat. Also, I like the whole idea of Oswald having like a throne where he's just kind of sitting there presiding over his subjects who frankly couldn't care less.
And it's his backup throne, because he already has one in Mickey Junk Mountain.
One can never have too many thrones.
You don't want to travel with it, you know?
Exactly. Anyway, we're going with the paint path here. I'm not entirely sure why Gus made the distinction between happy or sad paintings, because that part doesn't matter, only whether you restore all the paintings or not.
Interesting. I really kind of thought that, like making the room sad would cause the whole like layout to change versus making the room happy.
Yeah, in this room, I definitely prefer to have the enemies painted in instead of thinned. Easier to manage because, as we'll see, there is actually one of those pipes that infinitely respawns sweepers if you keep thinning them out. Again, that's part of the upholstery. That's keeping the chandelier in place.
Bunch of little hidden chambers that you have to... Oh.
Well, that's pleasant.
Yep, more blotticles. I forget exactly what, because these are different from the pus blotticles that we've been dealing with before. But this is basically the new obstacle that we will see for the rest of the end game.
Oh, it's doing the wave.
Oh, dang. Knocks you all the way back down there.
Not very well coordinated, though. Yeah, the knockback on these things is just absolutely ridiculous. Over here is a bit of concept art that's pretty sneaky. You got to take this one-way leap over here.
Very nice, yeah.
Now, it's not just about restoring all the paintings, as it turns out. There is an extra step for the paint path, which is an introduction to an old video game cliche we haven't really seen yet, and thankfully it's the only instance of this in the game.
Really?
It's not the boulder.
Oh, so that one was just Oswald.
That was just for fun.
Oswald put a rolling boulder trap in his throne room.
I mean, it's in character for Oswald prior to, the development he went through this game.
Oh dear. No wonder nobody comes to visit.
He was playing a lot of Resident Evil 4.
Exactly. It's a shame that Oswald's popularity did not last long enough for him to see the remake. I think he'd like it. Now, at this point, I had forgotten that sweepers infinitely respawn if you thin them out in this area, and I was trying to get the enemies to fight. Additionally, Gus also has dialogue commenting on each individual painting, and so of course I'll be showing all of that off.
I would be surprised if you didn't.
But first of all, before we do that, it's time for me to completely misunderstand what the second step is. Because I had not done this particular route in a while. Get up there. Come on, Mickey, you can do it. There we go.
Epic platforming! What?
You seem to be doing a lot of assuming there, Gus.
Well, as it turns out, it's because there was part of one of the other paintings that we hadn't filled in yet. There is something is supposed to happen over there. This sweeper might be to blame. I still haven't figured out that the sweepers are respawning. I recorded most of this endgame section in one sitting, and I probably wasn't thinking straight.
Befriend the Bucket Man.
Exactly. This was before he was the Mad Doctor. He was the slightly peeved Doctor. Oh man, I imagine what like the Mean Street Electrical Parade would look like. Again, at some point before this Let's Play finishes, I really should like take a tally of how many extra dialogue boxes there are where it's just one extra word.
Yeah.
The dark beauty castle that made everyone happy.
Yeah, darkness doesn't necessarily have to be ugly or well, dark. It can be metaphorically dark without being depressing. And again, this is me forgetting there's actually another gargoyle on the other side that I have to spin first. You could probably guess which old video game cliche we're going to be dealing with here.
You gotta turn everything in to face a certain direction.
Well, that's a step. That's part of it. But what do you suspect comes before that? Or after that, I should say.
You need to make, like, light shine on him?
Yeah, this is the one and thankfully only instance of a light and mirrors puzzle in the Epic Mickey series.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
It really isn't that bad. Though, Gus, it's been 20 videos now. You could stop tutorializing already.
No. Like, they got to assume that the people that are playing this game are babbies. I don't know why they would assume that, but...
But this isn't a game for babbies. It's a game for first graders.
Okay, I can see the wheels turning in your past self.
Yeah, my past self was a little tired and or stupid. Yeah, I think there's one more step. I mean, as far as light and mirror puzzles go, it's no Sands of Time, but it's still pretty good.
Oh man, someone's coming to visit. I need to swing all the gargoyles again.
Well, well, I mean, Oswald used to use the chandelier, but he kind of once he started running out of money from having to constantly rebuild his throne, he changed things around. Now, since Oswald pretended to be a star and usually, did these one rabbit shows, would it be unreasonable to say that Oswald acted alone?
Oh, Jesus.
Wow,
dear.
that pun was painful even for me. I don't know why.
Oh, God. Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
When's Oliver Stone getting his Disney remake?
They've got him tapped for Epic Mickey 3.
Anyway, this is all of the 2D levels from now on will be based on the Sorcerer's Apprentice. The specific clip from Fantasia that is probably the most famous thing to come out of that film.
I don't know, I kind of like the one with the dinosaurs more.
Yeah. Specifically, this is the part with the dream sequence when Mickey falls asleep while controlling the broomsticks.
Oh, yes.
This actually reminds me of like a bit of platforming from Braid.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, that game featured like hopping over clouds.
Though there was far less textbooks about nuclear theory that you had to go through to understand this instead of Braid.
I don't know, I feel like this game could be improved by just running by giant walls of text.
If you were a physicist, would it have helped with the rocket?
It might have.
Wasn't Oswald supposed to be like fighting the Blot or something? Wasn't that the excuse that we were given?
Well, that was earlier, before the real Blot was unleashed. So this is our backup plan, which is to defeat the enemy with fireworks.
You see, I think that might have been my first plan. Instead of, firing the escape rocket.
Well, again, there were budget issues involved.
Yeah, I mean, the smaller rocket should come first, though. Then you can wreck the big rocket.
Exactly. That over to the left there, that is not a statue of Hortensia. That is Hortensia in carbonite.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's just kind of keeping her up on his dashboard like a hood ornament. So that one to the right, is that also someone frozen in carbonite?
No, that's just a statue of Oswald, I think.
Oh, okay. I guess he just, wanted it to be symmetrical.
Also, I'm pretty sure that Oswald's body language changes depending on how much paint or thinner you've used. Because right now, he seems pretty happy.
Well, he's telling us that he's happy.
Aw, that's sweet.
Kind of a bit of a 180 from earlier, though. Like, we were squaring up to have a big old fight.
And I believe there's a bit of concept art. Oswald is still doing the thing. I guess some habits die hard.
Oh, that's creepy.
Oh, that's why they use Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, you know what? That's that is perfectly reasonable. So that's the first major section of Dark Beauty Castle 2, as it's referred to in the game files. And there are 2 more videos left in the end game, and I am very much looking forward to sharing those with you.
I'm looking forward to seeing him.
Oh, absolutely.